Welcome back. Let's talk about a Goofy movie. It's a movie about Goofy and Max. And Max is at his final day of school, and he's got this plan to impress this girl named Roxanne. His plan is to mimic a Powerline video with the help of his two friends, and he goes out of his way to plan this all day. And then PJ wakes him up because he overslept and he's late for school. And his dad, Goofy, comes in and his room's a mess. And he tells him to pick up his clothes and I'll get it later in there. Or you can help yourself. And then they're arguing over the vacuum because uh, Goofy doesn't know who Powerline is. And he ruins the big cutout board of Max's and everybody's laughing at him. Because Goofy's like, Max, you forgot your lunch. And he gives him a peck on the cheek. And then After Today comes out, which, by the way, this is a musical, but it's an absolute childhood classic of mine. And so it goes to After Today. And then Principal Mazer comes out, and they're doing the end of year assembly. And he's basically putting everybody to sleep. Max fiddles with the lights thanks to his friends and does the power line thing. He originally does it behind a screen, but then he gets knocked out into the people, and then they attach a hook to him so he can fly around, and everybody's impressed until they realize it's just it's just the kid as a Goofy. And so Goofy is a photographer in this movie with PJ's dad. And of course, Goofy has a way with kids, and he makes them laugh because he swallowed a rubber ducky. And PJ, of course, Big PJ, he decides, let us pro show you how it's done. And while this is happening, Goofy gets a phone call from the principal talking about his son who made a mockery of him today. But he exaggerates a little bit and says, you don't want him to wind up in the electric chair. And it scares Goofy. So Goofy's got this plan to take Max on a fishing vacation. And because Heat's dad's taking him on a camping trip. And if you're enjoying this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. It would really help us out. Not only that, he decides he's going to go to the fishing spot that his dad took him to. And he talks about all these truck stops along the way. And he's the navigator. And he's just trying to connect with his son. So he's like, you want to play a game? And he's like, no. And then so Max turns on the radio and he's like, so you want to sing a song? And then they play High Hopes. Because Goofy thinks he's doing something good, which he's trying his best. And, Max is like, I don't even know how to fish. And they go to this possum planet place or whatever it is. These mechanical possums that Goofy remembers having a grand old time at. And of course, Max is fed up. He doesn't like the fact that this is happening. But Goofy's picking all the stops along the way. And so he's trying to follow the example that PJ's dad has for him because he told him, keep him under your thumb, Goof. And so Goofy's trying to be tough. But when he realizes that Max doesn't respond to this very well, and he tries to lighten up, which he does, and then they have another musical thing where he's talking about what life would be like if Max went down the wrong paths. But eventually he gets to the diner. They have the diner scene where he's like, I hereby declare that Maximilian is the hereby which way of this here road trip. And everybody claps. And of course, he says, I'm not looking at the map anymore, and you can pick all the stops along the way. So Max eventually sees that the Powerline concert is in LA and the the fishing trip is on the other exit. And the reason this is becoming important is because back um after his power, and so that's the crux of the story. And Max is, like I said, then he realizes his dad is not very happy. So he takes him to a couple of things he'd like to even out trip. And again, just hit that like button so yet. And so then they hide in the equipment and they get thrown into the stadium for the Powerline concert. And of course, Goofy takes a wrong turn and ends up in the dressing room of one of the guys who's supposed to be coming up through the stage, and he gets like electrocuted, but it's a Disney electrocution, whereas like you just see it's over the top ridiculous. And he comes out and Max is like, "Do the perfect cast, Dad." The security's chasing Max, and then he comes in sliding off of onto the stage, doing the seeing things eye to eye song, and they have their moment, and then they're on their way home, and he's like, "I gotta go see Roxanne, tell her that I lied," and he's like, "If she doesn't take you back, she's probably not the one for you, and that's what I'm afraid of." And then there's this moment where he's like, "So you want to do something tomorrow night?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Wait, I can't. I got to. I'm doing something with my dad, honest." And then how about tomorrow? And then he gives her a quick peck. And of course, Goofy, being Goofy, messes with the car. It kind of goes kablooey. Goofy goes through the roof. That's how it ends with the Yahoo! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. And until next time, may your ego come from a place that keeps you humble. I'm Mo Money. Mamba out.